Hey everyone, 365 Days of Horsemanship. Things have been like super chaotic because I've been ill again. But I am feeling better now, which is really good. I feel like I'm finally getting over everything. And yeah, I came up today. I've definitely like missed a day somewhere, but that's okay. We move. And yeah, today came up, it was super hot. Had some really good lessons about what to do and what not to do when it's really hot. Because I came to Lawrence, who is like super itchy, super just like chronic low level concern because like it's too hot and there's too many itchies and there's midges and then there's the grass and it's hot and there's midges, and so he's just really caught in this like cycle of concern. And so I started with the approach, and as I was coming to approach him, I kind of started to come up, I did a little scratching of his ears, and then I came in to do a little bit of work on the touching distance and immediately realized that was a bad idea because it's just not the right day for it today. Like it's hot, like it was immediately irritating for him to be touched at all. So I'm like, okay, I need to not play that game. And then that kind of put me in the place of like, what can I work on? What should I work on? What is the best thing to work on? And kind of realized that like, if he's stuck in a cycle of concern like that, and like I need to do the best possible thing, basically I don't want to be still for that. I don't want to be in flow with him. I thought about then like sleeping with him, having a nap, but it wasn't a nap. He's irritated, he's shaking his head, like there's stuff going on. And so I'm like, oh, I don't want to flow with that. So then what I'm left with is the walking practice, because it's like, okay, what I need to do is not be associated with any of those like difficult moments. And there's basically just a lot of difficult moments today. So I've just got to keep moving until there's a moment of peace, calm, curiosity about specifically the herd or the environment, because there was a lot of self-focus going on. And the leader focus on me wasn't particularly helpful either, because that was just basically about the scratches. So yeah, it wasn't a really long session because it's really hot. But it definitely was a really good realization, and I did practice that a little bit. Then I gave them some water and filled up their water and left it there. But I think it's definitely, yeah, I'm happy like coming back tomorrow knowing that that's what I'm going to be working on. Like I'm not even going to try to approach, because I think even coming to that distance is just kind of allowing myself to get into a position where there's going to be moments of concern. And what I actually need to do is like, I'm not trying to prevent him from being concerned about the weather and the midges. Like that's not going to happen. He's going to be concerned anyway. It's just about reacting to that concern in the most appropriate way. And that for me is walking, because that is something I can do from a distance. It's a type of supportive leadership that I know I can do for a long time. That's not going to be irritating to him, which is obviously different to doing supportive leadership at the touching distance, like stroking or rubbing, because that's too much for him. So to do my walking practice and just have that patience to just walk and walk until I see those moments, stop, take a breath and get moving again before the next moment of concern comes, which is a little tricky because it doesn't last very long, that moment. And so definitely honing my timing is something I'm interested to try tomorrow. Excuse me. Yeah, so that was good. And then I went to see Mia. And again, it was more of the same. With Mia, it was more tricky. I didn't go to touch her because I felt like I'd learnt my lesson with that with Lawrence, and I didn't want to end up in a scratching pattern with her. And so basically it was just a matter of walking, and she did catch me a couple of times. And then the second time we had a nice long, like couple of breaths. And so then I left before like anything went wrong, or got worse. So yeah, so it was super good to feel like I found something to do with this time. I definitely am really motivated at the moment. Like I feel like my keyword is play. I feel like I'm really in a place where I'm trying to really find play within myself. I did a lot of thinking about play recently and kind of realized that I feel like play for me is the difference between fight and play is like consent. And so what I'm thinking about within myself, I think giving myself permission to want to do something, and when I stop wanting to do something, stopping it, rather than turning it into work or like fighting with myself to make it happen. So I feel like work kind of, like once it becomes work, it's like a fight with yourself. Or for me it is anyway, and just recognizing the difference has been a really interesting journey, and I'm definitely really keen to get on that journey with the horses as well, and really find that like difference between the two states of being, essentially. So yeah, so it's good. It was a good day. I feel good about it. It was nice to come up. It was really lovely to come up. I felt like things have just been really choppy. I've been away for a couple of days here and there, and I feel like I'm getting back now to the feeling that I want to have. I feel like I'm getting back to some routine. I am away again a little bit. It's just a really busy, crazy year. But again, I think it's just like coming to terms with that and finding like a new normal when I am a little bit busier and I'm not here all the time, is just like an interesting new challenge, and I think I'm like adjusting to that now, and yeah, definitely feeling like the motivation is building again after my long sabbatical with my nan, and that's really good. And I think feeling it building again is helping me like tame that wild and have that trust. You know, like the first step is always the hardest, like just feeling that little bit of increase in motivation is helping me feel more patient for just allowing the rest of it to come naturally. So yeah.